Hello, welcome back to my cake kitchen. I am Gladys, and over here we make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating easily. It's been a long morning because I've been baking, and we were meant to be back baking pumpkin spice, something pumpkin spice, but unfortunately I haven't managed to prepare properly because I was filming for these, and yeah. Tabitha, good morning. Tabitha, Tabitha, how was your weekend? Okay, so yeah, I instead of delaying my presence here, I thought I'll show up nonetheless. What did I just miss? Okay, I thought I'll show up and then we can prep the ingredients together and then we'll decide what we'll bake. Okay, because I think I'm obsessed with pumpkin spice. I am because I've been baking Tabitha, the cake we made last Wednesday. I baked it into some muffins. Look at those muffins. Look, I mean, it is so good. Look. And I was just thinking, if we can make it into, I have plans. Don't worry, Tabitha. Just put the details here properly. That's fine. If you don't mind, just break them down, and then I will look back at it later, and that should be fine. But I hope you are okay though. How is mom and the rest of the family? So, what pumpkin spice something can we bake? Okay, because I have two tins of pumpkin puree, and we made the pumpkin spice layer cake with the caramel, the sticky pumpkin spice with the caramel, and now we've made a muffin, a cupcake style muffin version. So Tabitha, life is life, darling. Don't worry. I think if I'm being honest, the reason why I haven't managed to prep today is that I have a lot on my head. So life is lifing, and that's fine. Okay? I hope it gets better though. Because I know you said October is feeling like June when October is taking a long walk over a shore pier. And hopefully it doesn't fall off. Okay, there's still enough time to redeem it before it just goes over there. So Tabitha, I hope it gets better for you, my dear. No pressure at all, you know me. Look, let me just remove the mic. I feel like I need a cup of tea. Okay, I feel like I really do need a cup of tea. Oh, okay, let me look. You're not about to see a naked woman here, but the mic needs to come off because I was filming today, you see. There you go. So let's put this away. We've taken a step back from the ledge. I know. Because sometimes, I think sometimes that's what you need if you can. I think I need a cup of tea. Okay? Right. So, Tabitha, it's you and me. For those of you who are just joining us, we're a baking channel. And yes, I do bake. And if you've checked the channel, there is so much baking and baked stuff here for you to see. Okay? However, some days we just show up without anything in mind, nothing prepped. I actually did prep things. Here are the ingredients. I wanted to make a spiced apple cake, but I was also okay. So let me just brew the cup of tea and I'll tell you what's going on with this little confusion so we can resolve it a little bit, right? Because you and I have a relationship, don't we? We do have a relationship. Oh, Tapeta, whilst you were here, did you see the neighbor and the cake? Tapeta, this is for you. Anyway, let me get these out of the way. Yeah, my kettle is on. We're lollipop. Lollipop is a fixture in my house because my son asks me, Mama, where does Lollipop live? I'm like, honey, when you're older, you will know you have friends and you don't know where they live, but you love them nonetheless. Okay? Because in my mind, if I knew where Lollipop lived and I told my son, he might go, how about we go and visit your friend Lollipop? But Lollipop has something in her house. That means I can never. I know, it's not a maybe. What do you think we are doing this for? We are on a long distance date. One day we'll meet. The thing is, you know I'm not catfishing you because you can see me every day unless you think I'm AI. What do you think we're doing this for? So that eventually we'll get to see each other. So just sit on tight, okay? We'll see each other sometime. But anyway, whilst you're at it, people, welcome to the chat. Look, if I look like I don't know what I'm doing, just meet me there, okay? I think I'm gonna get a seat and then we can sit down and we can catch up. Because I actually just wanted to come and have a full bake session, as in for us to bake a spice cake. Because it's the fall era and I told you we're going to be making a lot of like fall seasonal cakes. But I have 2 other pumpkin puree and I need to use them, right? Plus, I just also felt like I wanted to make this like a series so that it's easy to follow on the channel as well. So last Wednesday we made the sticky pumpkin spice, whatever that was. Oh, that was amazing. And then today, since Wednesday, I haven't been back to the kitchen. The video that's up on the long form channel, the long form video that is up on the channel was pre-filmed and edited for Sunday, right? So today is my first time back in the kitchen since I left the kitchen on Wednesday. And I've been filming all morning and we have the same pumpkin spice cake in cupcake form, but they are muffin style because I wanted to bring some elements of a muffin to the cupcake. But I think after making it, they take the texture of a muffin. They are not sweet. They are not sweet at all. And okay, let's look at the texture here. Look. They are not dense, as in first of all, it's not sweet. It's not as lightly delicate as you would have for a cake because of the amount of pumpkin that goes in there. I threw in some toasted walnuts. So when you bite into it, there's this moist crunch that comes through. It's not sweet at all. And the caramel complements it nicely without overwhelming it. Amazing, just like the cake itself, right? But that is due. If I can get it edited, you will find this video out on Sunday, hopefully. So I'm just thinking, I wanted to make this into something pumpkin spice. I have some ingredients I want to get rid of. So initially we were supposed to be making some spiced apple, like as in caramelized spiced apple. But I thought, let's get the pumpkin done first, the series done, couple of videos out, and then we will start the apple because they're all part of the season and I'm just interested in developing that for you. So it all came to me last night when I was planning, and I thought, okay, worst case scenario, I will still make the spiced caramelized apple anyway. But today filming time kind of went over my planned schedule, which means I wasn't able to allocate time to prep appropriately for the live, and I also didn't want to defer the live until later, so I showed up nonetheless, and that is where we are at. That is where we are at, and I'm probably going to be here for just an hour. So for the hour between, because if I'm starting a series like this, I want us to start the bake and get to see the bake finish on the live, so you see the real results for yourself. Lollipop, okay, Lollipop says last night's munchies made me make an angel delight. On chocolate cake, on chocolate walnut cake, layered in a bowl. If Tabitha, are you on WhatsApp? Because even if you want to call Lollipop, the international call list, you can, WhatsApp is still free, it doesn't charge you anymore, does it? What am I even talking about? Yeah, people, the WhatsApp, I think WhatsApp is cheaper, isn't it? Or it's even free. Which is it? Anyway, people, Tabitha, you're not on WhatsApp. Lollipop, bring Tabitha up to speed, because we're not about to have her calling from America and burning money she doesn't have. Okay? Darling, you're not missing anything. If you don't have any need for a WhatsApp app, you're not missing anything. So that's fine. You don't have to keep up. Some of us just have it because we need it. Obviously, I have to keep in touch with mom and the rest of the family. It's cheaper. And most importantly, it's become one of the modern days of communication. But if that's, look, if you haven't missed it till now, you clearly haven't missed anything, my dear. Okay? So don't worry. Tatiana is back. Good morning, lovely. Good morning. How are you? I think we missed you last week, did we? You were, last Wednesday was the last time I was here. How are you though? It's good to have you back. And today, you know what? Today, you've met me in confused land. Let me just make myself a cup of tea and then I'll sit down and then we can catch up. There's nothing extraordinary to catch up because my filming schedule, today I was filming, this is more for Tatiana because Tatiana just checked in. So I was filming for this morning for long form, and I went over filming schedule. So it's kind of thrown my plans for the day into disarray a little bit. So I thought instead of coming to bake, let's just catch up, because then again, right in the middle of filming, I was just like, I just had some developing crisis. It's, you know what? Let me just make myself a cup of tea. It's were you here last week? We made pumpkin spice cake with muscovado sugar. So it's pumpkin spice cake with muscovado sugar, and we finished it off with muscovado caramel sauce, right? I've taken the same recipe and replicated it in cupcake form, except I wanted to bring some muffin style qualities to the cupcake, which is I added a streusel topping and added the same caramel to it. The caramel is actually left over from that from last week anyway. So essentially it's a muffin, but the recipe is a cupcake instead of a muffin, because the difference between a muffin and a cupcake is the fat and moisture enhancing ingredients and the ratios of it. Muffin is essentially a quick bread, so you'll find that muffins do have a high proportion of, say, whatever the main ingredients are, you find a high proportion of, say, sour cream, milk, yogurt, or any variation of a dairy. The sugar is normally very low, and the fat is also very low when you look at the ingredient composition. Whereas and normally a muffin is derived, it's not set in stone, but generally you'll find a muffin derived by just mixing together without having to beat anything. Whereas a cake may take any form of the mixing method, whether it's reverse creaming or full creaming. Plus, it's normally, in terms of properties and qualities, it has a high amount of sugar in relation to the flour and other ingredients, if you like, plus the fat. And the choice of moisture enhancing ingredient becomes optional. So why am I even talking about a muffin? I'm just like explaining that. So the recipe, as in the recipe details, is a cake, but the qualities, as in the external and physical qualities of the cupcake, is a muffin because it has a streusel topping. And the reason why I wanted this was because I really wanted a muffin style pumpkin spice cake, but I also didn't want to go for a full-on muffin type recipe, because then it will be doughy, and I didn't want it. I still wanted the delicate softness of a cake, and that's why. So yeah, I've been doing that all morning. The initial plan was to create a caramelized apple coffee cake. So we could as well do that tomorrow. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's just that today I'm like, let's see, what am I missing in the chat? Oh, okay, you guys are talking about cheesecake, and I think I'm also thinking about a pumpkin cheesecake, but I don't know, people. I keep saying, let me just grab myself a cup of tea, and I haven't. I feel a little bit let's see. Okay. Let me get some milk. I'm actually looking forward to sitting down because I've been studying this kitchen since 9:30 this morning. Okay. Today is my, okay, right, there we are. I made it to my table. It's been a long time since I sat down to catch up with you, right? Oh no, let me just bring this chair up a bit. Okay, let me just bring it up a bit. It's been a long time. For those of you who are talking cheesecake and everything else, I want to put caramel in my tea, but I kind of feel like I'll ruin it. If it was a coffee, I'll probably have Muscovado caramel in it. But people, well, I'm just catching up on your chat. I'm just literally walking into your chat. So, what are you making for Thanksgiving? You said, Tatiana. It's just because I don't want to go back to the chat. Concrete drip. Now I feel like I should have, oh, a pumpkin cheesecake. Well, have you made one before? Oh no. Okay, so what we can do is we can try one here so that you can take the recipe with you then. Because a cheesecake, is it a New York style cheesecake? Is it a New York style cheesecake? I think I have cream cheese in the fridge because any style. The thing is, our cream cheese in the UK, because cream cheese makes a significant difference to your outcomes in your part of the world, you know, because you guys have the formulation of your cheese in block style, whereas all we have is the Philadelphia in the pack thing, which is like mild. So I don't know if it will make any difference, but we could try it. I mean, we're not hurting anyone, but I'll tell you, okay, Tapeta, is it a recipe? So email it to me. I will save one of my pumpkins for Tatiana, so that when you email it, we can come and get it done. We will make it as a bake along if you like. Remember last week I said we're bringing bake along back, and we're going to make it like once a month, perhaps at end of every month there's a bake along, so you get to choose something you really want to bake or you want to try to bake, and then we will complete it here for you. So if that's the case, a good tip will be, Tapita, send me the ingredient details and the method via email. I'll save a pumpkin here, puree here, and then we will come and do it as a bake along so that Tatiana can see the result, and then she can take it with her to her Thanksgiving. I think that will be a good solution for this altogether, because sometimes when you're picking up a recipe that is even more recommended, you are still not sure whether it will yield you the exact result, and it will be great to just get it done so that she has the confidence of knowing, okay, I've seen it done and I'm actually happy with it. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, that might just be. Oh, you're gonna bake some biscuits? Well, I have picked a couple of baking books for breads, biscuits, and a few other things. So that should be exciting. It will be fun. So Tatiana, your New York cheesecake is on our bake along this month. Perhaps for what it is worth, I'm not going to be very pedantic about it. We can, when I get the recipe, I can schedule it and then we can do it on one of the lives before the end of the month anyway, so that you have enough time to have it. So that's fine. But anyway, people, it's my first day back after the weekend. How have you all been? Please talk to me. Don't leave me out here in the streets. It's okay. Right? How are you all? Because Oh, you do? Yeah. Lollipop said she was doing iced with royal iced biscuits for Halloween. I was thinking Halloween. Did we say we were going to make a cauldron? Because I have cakes to get rid of. Because look, I did want to get away from baking for a little while so that we'll focus on the decorating. Remember when we started with the near hyper realistic cakes? Oh, you have a recital. When is that? You didn't get a... Oh, you have a recital at the gym. You must be so busy, darling. You know what? Work hard when you're young, rest up when later, okay? So whatever you're doing, I'm sure you will do fine and things will all work out. But please take time and look after yourself, okay? Oh, you'll be judging on Saturday whilst all the kids are doing their routines. Congratulations. I hope you're the good judge. I hope you're not the Simon Cowell of the judges. No, I actually don't think so. Lollipop. The recital. I haven't had proper breakfast and this tea sits on my soul. So people, we're going to, I think we might just, we have a moment for Bible study corner. But here's a question for you, okay? What do you tell someone who feels like they want to give up? I'll give you context. This is not my story, but I'm just struggling with it, right? There is someone in my life, right, who is going through a difficult time in their relationship, right? And it's not like a partner relationship with, they have a poorly family member, right? A very poorly family member. And this has been ongoing for a little while now. We're talking a couple of years. Now, there is no formal diagnosis of a, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no diagnosis for, say, a palliative situation. Do you know what I mean? Like an end of life. It's not that. But of course, when you've cared for somebody for so long, at some point you feel a little bit disheartened. And I get that. I understand the sentiment of feeling disheartened. But what do you tell them when then they come to you and they say, look, the situation is so hard and I feel like this is not going to, the hopes of healing is fast declining. What do you say to someone like that? Yep. I think, oh, Tapeta, thank you. You summarized my thoughts because it's not my, the only way it's impacting me is because I care about this person. I care about the people in the situation, but I am not the person in the situation. And when someone makes an informed choice to seek you out just for support, sometimes you can find yourself a little bit wanting. And that's where I am at. Like, I'm like, I understand the situation and how you might feel, but what do I say? So Tapeta has summarized. Tapeta says, family is tired of watching another family member slowly dying in their own, yes, in their own way. Yeah. And the dying in their own way is set in a particular form of illness, if you like, but there's no formal diagnosis or anything about what is this word? Like, can you see my brain has frozen? There's no terminal diagnosis here at all. Like, there is no indication of a terminal illness. Okay, let's be clear. But what, yeah, that's all. I have nothing more to add. Okay, so Tatiana says, help them recognize that recognize what you're doing is important and their value. However, also let them know God sees. Okay, Tatiana, I'll tell you this. The part why I'm asking the question here is that this person is Christian, okay? And I've watched them stay strong and be so strong. And for them to actually vocalize to me that their hopes of healing for their family member is fast declining is the concern for me, which is why I don't know what to say. That's my bin men. They're back. Okay, so let's see where we are here. Tatiana, I don't think you necessarily misunderstood, because it's not my story to tell. It's hard to kind of give you like exact details and context. Do you see what I'm saying? So perhaps you can only understand based on the information I'm providing, and that's okay. Okay, Lollipop says, I don't believe there's a right answer. Listening is probably more important. Sometimes someone they can vent to who is impartial. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You know what? I think you are my people. Thank you. I think you get a sense of the illness without me having to say. I think Tatiana, I think I would say the trouble here is that the lack of understanding and knowledge of the circumstance and the illness is also impacting the choices people have to make surrounding it. So the option of, say, an intervention and support in that way is extremely limited or almost impossible, because the immediate people who have to support those decisions are completely inadequate in terms of their understanding of the subject matter. Do you see what I'm saying? Whew. Yeah. Rio says hello. Rio, hello. I really don't. It's a tough one. I think because it's something that is sitting on my mind. What are we doing today, Rio? Rio, we are not doing much. We were supposed to be baking, but your baker is exhausted. And your baker needs a cup of tea, and your baker needs to catch up. So Baker is literally sat here talking to you, okay? We're not doing much. Whatever we needed to do, we've done it already. We baked a cake on a live. I'm like, I really do need a cup of tea, and I've got one. It's okay, Rio. Rio, where are you joining us from? Which country are you in? The time difference can be hard, I know. The time difference can be hard. And I know, like, even though you can watch on replay, it's not the same experience because the streams are just very subject set. So if you miss out, it's like it's either you're going to go catch up on the recipe or you really have to leave it on its own. So do I like coffee? No. You know what? I don't like Look, I don't hate coffee. It's just not a preference. I wouldn't choose coffee if I was given a choice of coffee or anything. But I don't dislike coffee. For instance, mocha has a touch of coffee in it. So I will have a mocha if depending on where I am and what I feel. I'll have a mocha. I'll have a latte, like as in a syrup sort of sweetened latte. So toffee latte, for instance, is one I like. I like a pumpkin spice latte, but they are not like they are not the sort of, say, espresso type coffee. If you get it, I don't do espresso. I find coffee bitter, and I don't know. When I have black coffee, my belly just feels a bit warm, and I feel like I've got butterflies. It just makes my belly, it gives me anxious feelings. So no, it's a no and it's a yes. I've given you the context. I like some options of drinks that have coffee in it, but coffee itself, as in brewed coffee, is not just my thing. Oh, okay, chai latte. I'll try it. I've heard about it, but I am also very like, I am not adventurous at all. With everything I do, I'm quite boring when it comes to food. I will try something new only if it is recommended by somebody I trust. So I am not typically a person who would just pack up and be like, let's go to this restaurant. I like going to restaurants, but I don't mind going to the same restaurant day in and day out. But if I trusted somebody or I had a relationship with somebody and they recommended a particular meal that they have had and I trust them and their food choices, I would. So I've heard about chai latte, but I don't know about anyone who's had it before. So
chai latte, I have.
Have you?
Yeah, of course.
So where have you been having chai latte that you haven't brought me a cup of chai latte?
So funny thing is, chai actually just means tea.
So tea latte.
Yeah, but it's like with spices. It's like an Indian drink.
Okay.
It's more popular around Christmas, but it's yeah, it's a pretty basic drink.
Okay, Tatiana doesn't like tea. Okay, Tatiana doesn't like chai latte because she doesn't like tea.
Ah.
So yeah, no, today the stream is quite an easy one. Oh, Rio is in Malaysia. Oh, you should catch up with Nicola then. I should email Nicola. I keep telling myself I will email Nicola, and here we are. Okay? Me and my cup of tea. So today, anyone checking into the stream just needs to sit with us. We are just all sitting down and like, okay.
We're going to walk from half and half, walk from the golf course.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
But you're leaving early though. Hello?
I need to walk walk from the golf course to the school.
Okay. Ah, Tatiana is a coffee lover. She'll drink peppermint, but not tea. Okay. whilst we're at it, let's humor ourselves, right? Let's do some Bible trivia. Now let's see. Oh, Tatiana is from Cali and then she moved to Texas. Wow. You moved to Texas and then you went on holiday where? Again, where you saw the moose? The place. What's the name? It's not Dallas, is it? I remember when you went on holiday, I'm like, Tatiana has gone to Dallas. I'm like, no, she hasn't. Alaska. Yes. It's not Dallas, is it? Oh, Alaska. Oh, Disney World for Christmas. Wow, go have fun. Oh, so you are not one of those people who canceled your Disney trips, right? Because Disney canceled who? Disney tried to cancel, what's his name? Is it Jimmy Fallon or something? How did you feel about all that drama though? It's only a subject to talk about because it's just come up, but oh, so you are almost away every Christmas. That's nice. You're going back to Alaska in October. Next October. Okay, next year. For our 5-year anniversary. Ooh, 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 ooh. Congratulations. 5 years. Oh my goodness. That must be exciting. Go and have fun. Going to play with the moose. What was the one thing you enjoyed on that trip, Tatiana? Because to be able to go back to the same place again means that you really did enjoy your trip. Was this your first time of going to this place in Alaska? I am looking forward to coming back to bake tomorrow. You're going back to Disney. And this will be for our 5th year. Oh, okay. I thought that would be Alaska. Did you meet in Disneyland? Okay. Oh, wow. You're going back to Disney. Oh, I thought you said you were going back to Alaska. I read wrong then. Sorry about that. Tabitha says, I'm not sure what I'll do for my anniversary. Both of mine are in the winter when it's wet, cold, wet, icy, and gross. Everyone stays in where it's warm. Tabitha, give your man a hug, okay? That's all. You get some warmth out of it, right? Congratulations, though. I mean, look, for some of us who hardly get out of the door to go do anything, unless it's baking related. Oh, okay. You met long distance when hubby was in the military. Oh, so you're married to a veteran. Bless him. That is so nice. When you think about someone who does a job like his, or is a veteran, there's heart to it, isn't it? Well, congratulations. Go have a good time and dream away in Disneyland. Lollipop says, same Tabitha, but we've gone out and celebrated over 11 years. Tabitha says, I've been hugging him 14 years. I've had enough. You know what? At this point, Tabitha, you probably want to swap him for a Ghanaian man because you'll be eating jollof rice all year through. Not that it's any special. Because you know what? Let me not put my Ghanaian men on blast over here. But if you marry a stingy Ghanaian man, on your anniversary, you'll be eating the same food you had for dinner yesterday. And that will be jollof rice. Because them men do not see the value of going out and treating you to a meal. They would rather say, oh, how about you cook this food and eat? It's like, dudes, can you even try? Tabitha, please, you really, look, I know jollof sounds like novelty to you right now, but to have jollof over 14 years, you will chuck that man and his bowl of jollof away, okay? Tatiana says, thanks. Everyone says, if you make it 5 years, then it's either falls apart or they make it forever. When you heard that, you were like, what? My dear, people say all sorts of stuff, but ultimately it's your belief system and your experience that will stand tall above everything else, darling, okay? So as long as you were doing the right thing as prescribed, you know what, when it comes to marriage, what does the Bible say? That's all. And if you're living by that and practicing what that really means, loving each other, loving on each other, even on the not so great days, I'm sure you have a life ahead, darling. You'll be fine. 5 years, 7 years, and whatever else society says, put that to the side, okay? And just enjoy it. Lollipop said, oh, Lollipop said she had an 8-month-old when they got together and she's now 12 and you have another one. Oh, wow. 8 months old. That's a good man, Lollipop. Tabitha says, adding some delicacies. I'm a grilled Ghanaian chicken. Tabitha, look, give the man a hug and I will be responsible for the jollof and chicken. That's all. Because what I don't want you to do is lose the hug for the man who won't hug you and will give you jollof all year through and then you have enough. Okay, no. Tatiana says we've been joking with each other. Well, it's been nice. I guess it's falling apart in a few months. No, it's not falling apart. You said you and hubby are besties. That's a good thing to have. Congratulations and many more happy years. Here, 5 years down, forever to go. Okay, enjoy your married life, my lovely. Lollipop says he got her name tattooed across his forearm. Oh, wow. When she was 2. I mean, at least you can laugh about how society feels about marriage and everything else, and yet you guys are having fun. So, Lollipop, he's a keeper. Look, you know how you know Lollipop has a good man? That man lives with a snake and a wife. You can have... Can you imagine Adam's life? People, Adam just took a short walk and he came back, and the whole thing, his promise of a life of forever and happy moments, is gone. Because what? Some snake showed up and convinced the woman. And Lollipop's husband decided to have them two things. He could have just had one. Had a pet snake over here, lived his happy life, and then minded his own business. Or just have Lollipop and the family over there too. But the man has a snake and Lollipop and the kid. He's a good one, mother. That's all I needed to know. That he has a snake, a woman, and two kids. He's a good one. Peter says some people take marriage too seriously and don't allow room for the other person to be goofy, silly, and stupid. I don't know them people. I don't know those people who are too serious about marriage to not have a laugh. Okay? I don't know. You should be able to have a good laugh with that person you wake up to every day. So I don't know how serious you could be to not allow another person to just have some laughter and fun in your life. No, I don't know those people. Okay? But if we were nominating best husband of the decade, it'd be Lollipop's man, because that man has a snake and a woman all together, and it seems like he's thriving and doing fine. Tatiana says marriage is like having a forever sleepover with the best buddy and work through life together. I mean, when you find a good marriage in a good partner, it will feel like that. And I have no doubt you are having a great time of your life, my darling. Okay? But there are people of different generations who may just think we are all up in the clouds and seeing through rose-tinted glasses. And that's fine. That's fine too. We want to see that because that's our experience. But in times gone, with such I kind of think, as much as it is fun, some days, depending on who you pay attention to, you can hear things about marriage that will be disheartening. But ultimately, it's all down to individual choices and the experience one is having. Lollipop says that's how we ended up matching heart tattoos on our hands. They were done. Lollipop, listen. Look, I don't know how I had a baby, okay? Because I and needles, we don't work. So when I think about the tattoo that I want to have, first of all, I don't have any tattoo, but that's because I'm such a chicken that I can't deal with pain, okay? Yes, Lollipop says she was Lollipop. Can you can you stop the self-slander? Okay? The self-slander of your nuts because you have a snake and a tattoo. That's not my definition of nuts, okay? As long as you don't believe you are not. Now, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, which is fine because we're all special in our own unique ways. But nuts, I'm not so sure about that. Okay? Tatiana was saying it all depends on what your foundation is too. Look, honey, you've been here long enough to tell me that Jesus is your foundation. And if Jesus is the foundation of your marriage, darling, I know it is as strong can be, weathered against any circumstance, and you over there will be all right, honey. Okay? Lollipop says, my first tattoo was when I was 15 in my brother's. Who is coming to your kitchens and your living rooms to do tattoos for you? Who are those people? Lollipop. It's across the bottom of my back. Tapita says, one thing that makes me sad about marriage is all the young couples that rush into it, find out mistakes were made. It seems to me couples my age Tatiana, Tapita, Lollipop. I am sure if we actually wanted to talk about what the state of these youngsters, what they believe marriage is like, we will be cancelled. we will become, because Tatiana, you know what I'm saying. I know you're having a great time in your marriage, but the young people who think marriage is just a bed of roses. I mean, you were growing when you got into it, and you will continue to grow. And if you found someone who complements you and has a mature spirit to accommodate you, you grow together and you make it happen together, isn't it? But sometimes, have you ever met somebody you talk to is like, you have no idea what you're doing. You just thought it's just going to be all the way up here and all great things. And I'm not saying even if it's not great all the time, that's a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. But as a person, you are not living in a forever great day, are you? Even in your own like world. If you took away the idea, as a person, you go to work, some days you have a bad day. So imagine you existing in all those developments of life with another person who is having exactly the same experience, and yet both of you have to make it work so that you can find love, peace, respect, and mutual goals for the future, maintain a family. That stuff is harder than people make it sound like. But hard is not a bad thing. Doesn't mean you're a slave in a way and like in like a slave land. That's not what I mean. But hard means you make a choice that probably is not the thing. It's not easy, right? You make a choice that is not always easy, but the choice comes with your commitment to your vows, and then you keep going and going. But like I said, some of these young people, if you and I had that conversation here openly, they will take what we are saying out of context, misinterpret it. Because one thing I realized about the internet is black and white. There is no nuance, there is no gray area. And I kind of understand it. So I mean, there are things that you're like, okay, and then you keep it passing and you don't. Because you think, let's see. Tatiana, you are with the shits, are you? Tatiana, it's like even when we get canceled, the truth will be told. Okay. Oh. Lollipop, you're stuck with that man. With 2 kids and a snake later, you are just fine. And in fact, you said it's because you cannot afford. I mean, if you do get to the point where you want to get married, as long as you're having a small say, I'll make the cake. So the cake bill shouldn't even be a problem, Lollipop. So if you want to get married, you can get to the registry ASAP. Okay? Right. Tatiana is saying, Tatiana said, being that Hubby and I were 26, being 26 when we got married, our first 2 years was tricky. We were finding our dynamic. However, always going back to our foundation made our marriage really strong. You know what, Tatiana? We've only existed on this little space over here, this virtual space we've created for ourselves. But my impression of you, if I were to describe you, is that you have a very mature spirit anyway. So even at 26, I don't perceive that you carried the mind of a typical 26-year-old, and that's a compliment. So I have no doubt that your mature spirit carried forward into all those. I mean, we've spoken about some of the things you have achieved and continue to pursue, right? So at 31 or nearly 32, I have no doubt that even though in terms of your age, it appears like, you are really, really young, I perceive or I assume, based on my encounter with you in this small area here, that you have a very, very mature spirit and an intelligent mind. And outside of that, like, you add a mature spirit to an intelligent mind to a person whose roots and values are steeped in faith. I mean, what could go wrong? That is the sort of standard most people should aim for. Some of us had to grow. Like, I'm nearly 40. I probably don't look it. I'm nearly 40. Okay? And it's taking me all that jet. Look, my 20s were wild and mad. Okay? I am glad I wasn't here when I was 20. Okay? That's all. Yeah, Lollipop, you heard me. If you do decide you're gonna get married, just email me. I'll make the cake. So I don't know what you're on about marriage being too expensive. Okay. Oh, she is here. Hello, people. Are you the neighbor who was supposed to eat the cake?
Yeah,
I waited.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I've been at work.
No need to apologize. Help yourself. Okay, help yourself. Let me get you a plate. I wanted to get some disposable plates. No, not that one. Just get the whole ones. Help yourself. No, help yourself to as much as you can.
Well, I'm going to go do the stool run.
Okay, I will see you when you come back. I'll still be sat
I'll
here.
eat this on the way. I'm sure it's
Have fun. Okay, thank you. Now them people, did you see? Did you see? My neighbors are now coming to get cake. Lollipop, the neighbor that left me standing out here for 20 minutes has just shown up. Okay, so let's wait for them to come. Yeah, so people, so today you heard, if Lollipop decides to go get married, we'll make her the cake. Okay, so Lollipop, if you are married, it's not because of the cake. Please stop. Okay, but sometimes, you know what, sign on the window, kids. I live in a very quiet, snobby area, and if I put cakes for sale, you'd have I'll be receiving unwarranted letters from the council. I don't want that drama. Okay, so the idea is to be able to kind of give some away so that I can film the reaction just for content. But the truth is, I don't want to overdo it. I mean, I still want people to enjoy the cake if they want to, and if I give it away, that's fine. The part where I filmed your reaction is very secondary, because I get anxious at it. And you know what? To be honest, I am always comfortable when I'm doing my thing over here and it doesn't involve other people. Do you know what I mean? So that day I filmed Graham and Charlotte and Tatiana. This might seem so random. The day Graham and Charlotte came and ate the cake, you could see it was just a random sporadic thing, and they were so good sports and they joined in, which was fun. Yes, it is a registered business, yes, but sometimes the neighborhood doesn't take kindly to things that. Have you ever got a neighbor who is so like who is just so up their own backside, they will call the council for anything unreasonable. I just don't want the drama. As in, yes, it's a registered business. I have the 5-star rating. You can find me online and everything else. But if my neighbor was out there like calling the council for me, that would just create contention between me and them, right? And I just want to exist here in peace. Yeah, sometimes my area is full of a few Karens, quite a bit of them. You'd be surprised what they look like. People that you even say good morning to, and they're looking at you like, why are you greeting me? You know, I have said that before. Like, it doesn't bother me. And to be honest, I am probably a lot, as in, not a lot that, like, I'm not unreasonably, like, in people's faces. Look, this exists here for you because I'm comfortable here. But otherwise, like, I'm not socially awkward, but I do have social manners. But I have found, and this is not a dig at my hosts, as in the host country I live in. I have found the country I live in a little bit like uptight and reserved. You can meet a stranger at a bus stop, who is freezing cold. And you're trying to just engage them so that they are not focused on how much they are shivering, and they will blank you. And I come from a country where the culture is a lot more receptive and hospitable. And I'm in a country that is more like, you're the stranger. Why are you talking to me? So can you see the clash of cultures here? So it's the currents are like a bit, but people, she'll come and get the cake. Like I said, we didn't bake it, 3:15. Let's wrap up and be back tomorrow for a full bake session properly. Right? We'll do that, right? Let's wrap up. But I'll film her when she comes and gets the cupcake or whatever it is. And I'm sure you will see it somewhere. You'll see it. But otherwise, have a good one. And I'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.